Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Khanifah. Here I'll give a short brief of my thesis. Let's think about this for a second. Whenever you want to hear your favorite song, watch your favorite show, or see the latest current news, where do you go? You more likely turn on your television, radio, or computer. The source that the majority of the public use to get their news and information from is considered as mass media. Mass media have a major impact on the public's opinion on certain topics. One of the strongest mass media is news articles. They had been played a huge role in telling the public about everyday news. But did you realize that news articles often contain substitution, deletion, or addition in the text? This can happen because they might contain ideological biases from the writers who frequently use the utterances to show the positive or negative representation. This is called social actor representation. Social actor representation is a framework to examine how a group or person is marginalized in their position in discourse through language features. In reporting the issue of political protest, in this case the protesters, we find that the writers often represent them in a negative way based on political stances which adopted by their news institution. Thus, my research here are going to discuss social actor representation of omnibus law protests in the Indonesian online news articles. This topic is important to discuss because the validation of this omnibus law policy is quite controversial and has triggered massive protests from various circles of society. Also, it will extend the analysis of social actor representation regarding the issue of political protests. The research question is how social actor representation of omnibus law protests are projected in the Indonesian online news articles. The data sources here are from the three news articles containing the issue of the omnibus law protests. The researcher used the method of documentation and observation in collecting the data. In analyzing the data, first, the researcher examined each sentence in the articles through fluent strategies. Secondly, the researcher will classify each sentence whether they are included in the exclusion or inclusion strategies. Thirdly, the researcher will explore the data to discover what types of exclusion and inclusion are found. Lastly, the researcher draws a conclusion based on the finding and discussions of the study. That's all of my short explanation about my thesis. Thank you for your all attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.